This evening, parking meters protest today at City Hall attracts hundreds. Minister of Public Infrastructure outlines green program for 2017. City Hall to start ambitious solid waste management program. Minister of Business visits La Penitence business owners. In the region, in Jamaica, former Prime Minister to step down as party leader. And internationally, Mexican billionaire calls Trump's wall an insult to all Hispanics.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel, as well as our website, safetvguyana.com. Join us. Today, City Hall was again the site of a large-scale protest over the implementation of parking meters in Georgetown, despite last night's negotiation between the central government, the mayor, and city council. The meeting resulted in the mayor and city council agreeing to reduce the fees for parking, but that's not enough for these protesters. Movement Against Parking Meters, the group that organized this event, stated at a press conference yesterday that their protest is with the city's deal with Smart City Solutions itself, calling it illegal. This complaint is echoed by this protester.
So this is a white cross-section of society that has to be said. It can't stand. The next thing is, you bring a deal, it's draconian and it's criminal. I don't care. You bring a deal, I am not willing to adjust the deal. You take your deal, wipe your ass, do whatever you want to do with it.
It is the often repeated mantra of opponents of the parking meter deal that there is a perception of a lack of transparency in the process, as well as the process being unfair to citizens as a whole. While some protesters believe that Guyana is not ready for paid parking due to its lack of proper public transportation.
Guyana is just not ready for a parking meter. I am not against it. I think parking meter is a good thing, but it should be at the right time, when we reach a certain economic status, when we have the oil money flowing, when standards have arisen in the country. Normally, as I know, when governments or cities institute parking meters, it is usually done after they have established a proper public transport.
Kaicher News columnist Freddie Kassoon believes that Guyanese incomes are too small to facilitate their ability to pay such a high fee for parking.
If an economy can afford for people to pay for parking, then so be it. This economy cannot afford, does not allow for its population to pay for parking. For the simple fact is, the people who would pay for parking are not in the upper classes only. They're ordinary working people.
Long-term opponent of the parking meters deal, Deputy Mayor Sherrod Duncan, was also in attendance. He believes that today's turnout will only serve to embolden the movement against the parking meters in Georgetown. Additionally, he is in support of a suspension of the current contract with Smart City Solutions.
The contract didn't come through all the procedures we think it were necessary in City Hall. We felt that one, the cost was going to be too great a burden on the citizenry, and so we're asking for that to be looked at. And really and truly, overall, this contract should be paused. It really has not been vetted as thoroughly as it should be, the contract of this magnitude, and should really be suspended. Let us relook at it, even scrap, and let's go out to tendering as should have been done in the first instance. So lots of legal requirements were breached from the inception, and that's why primarily we're calling for this contract to be suspended.
While it is understood that the city must raise revenues, the people of this protest demand it by other means. They allege that the deal itself is not even beneficial for the municipal government. They often cite the monopoly given to Smart City Solutions and the small percentage of revenue the city actually receives from the deal. With heavy condemnation from central government, the opposition, and many citizens of Georgetown, will the mayor and city council stand firm with this decision or bow to public pressure? Headline News will keep you informed as updates arise. Minister Patterson outlines bold initiatives for the Ministry of Public Infrastructure in 2017. Here's more.
The Ministry of Public Infrastructure will be very active this year, according to its head, Minister David Patterson. Yesterday, he expressed the ministry's commitment to Guyana's green agenda during his address at the Regional Renewable Energy Symposium.
And considering suitable supporting international, legal, and investment structures, the overall goal are to provide a stable, reliable, and economic supply of energy, reduce our dependency on imported fuels, promote, where possible, the increased utilization of domestic resources, and ensure that energy is used in an environmentally sound and sustainable manner.
It was during this same address, Minister Patterson listed some of the major upgrades for the public infrastructure in 2017.
In 2017, the government will be implementing a renewable energy program for the installation of about 1.36 megawatts of solar PV systems on rooftops of 64 government buildings, including a 400 kilowatt solar farm in Mabaruma.
Not only are these additions beneficial for the environment, they are also beneficial for the taxpayer. Energy-saving solutions will help the government save money as compared to current wasteful means. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure understands that energy is critical to a nation's development. With this in mind, this year, the ministry will focus on building low-cost means of receiving renewable energy in hinterland communities.
It must be noted that in the coming years, greater interest will be directed to the hinterland regions, particularly for the utilities in the recently detonated towns of Bartica, Ledham, Madia, Mabaruma, and the principal community of Port Kaituma. Emphasis will also be placed on delivering electricity to remote riverine villages while advancing social economic benefits through small business development and improving operations at health facilities and education institutions at the least cost to the consumer.
Development of the renewable energy sector in Guyana is an integral part of the President's green agenda, but ending the nation's reliance on expensive and ecologically harmful fossil fuels will not be an easy task. As such, the government will create the legal framework to best facilitate such a transition.
The role of energy efficiency will be greatly emphasized in the national energy policy seeks to establish an energy efficiency and conservation as a subsector in its own right. In addition, very shortly, an energy transition roadmap for Guyana will be finalized.
The People's Progressive Party's Anil Nandalal says Attorney General Basil Williams did not provide his interpretation of the Constitution on who is eligible to be appointed chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. But Williams says he needs time to study the case laws presented to him before the two sides meet again next week. Nandalal met Williams in keeping with a decision by opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo to give in to President David Granger's request for the two to meet to clear up any misconceptions or misinterpretations of Article 161 of the Constitution. While Nandalal claimed that Williams was unprepared to state his interpretation of that section of the Constitution, the Attorney General indicated that he could not hurriedly state his position without reading the case law that were presented to him. The Attorney General, however, stated that while the government has already established its position, it will carefully examine the points which have been put forward by Mr. Nandalal. Article 161-2 of the Constitution states that, quote, the chairman of the Elections Commission shall be a person who holds or has held office as a judge of a court having unlimited jurisdiction in civil and criminal matters in some part of the Commonwealth, or a court having jurisdictions in appeals from any such court, or who is qualified to be appointed as any such judge or any other fit person, end quote. The opposition leaders' nominees have been deemed, quote, unacceptable by President Granger because none of them is a judge, retired judge, or eligible to be appointed judge. Coming up on Headline News after the break, City Hall to soon start new solid waste management program, and Minister of Business visits Isla Penitent's business owners.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
City Hall in 2017 will pursue an integrated solid waste management system to address the health, environmental, aesthetic, land use, and economic concerns associated with improper disposal of waste. Andrew Weeks reports. This was read by Finance Committee Chairman Oscar Clark during his 2017 budget presentation last week Friday.
Finance Committee Chairman Oscar Clark said the solid waste issue is an ongoing concern for the municipality, that the new approach will address the socio-cultural, environmental, economic, and technical spheres.
Presently, the service is predominantly concerned with collection and disposal of garbage. However, as a city, we need to go beyond that to an integrated systems approach. This of course, would involve separation of waste beginning from its source or origin. Obviously, it requires a massive public awareness and education program, not only to sensitize, but also to empower residents to act responsibly and respectfully towards the environment.
While the city can boast of reducing the huge pileup of garbage at markets, businesses, and residential areas, there are some who continue to litter. Mr. Clark said even though the mission of the City Council is to make Georgetown green, it would be paying great attention to commercial and industrial waste, both solid and liquid.
In fact, these types of waste will attract special fees as the disposal requires more of the city's resources than the individual householder. Commercial waste generation has become burdensome for a municipality. Since we have seen a rapid increase of such waste from the business community.
Mr. Clark addressed the tons of waste the city has to remove on a daily basis.
The municipality is stretched very thin to remove some 38 tons of commercial waste daily at a cost of $1 million per week. Therefore, solid waste management, and by extension the municipality, has decided to implement a commercial waste fee to all businesses within the first quarter of 2017 that will generate approximately $53 million in 2017.
According to Clark, the revenue would be reinvested to promote health literacy and to provide green health and fitness facilities for children, youths, and seniors.
These special fees would be published in the media, and the Council will hold extensive discussions and consultations to enhance this area of its responsibility, both technologically and our human resource competencies.
Andrew Wicks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. Construction is ongoing at Durbin Park as the city of Georgetown prepares the route for this year's Mashramani Float Parade. Crews are in the process of building a chain-link fence around the parade ground in the stadium. It is intended to help maintain the safety of participants and spectators during this month's event. According to one of the workers at the site, the fence is intended to be a permanent addition to the park. The unannounced addition of a fence to the structure may also have positive unintended consequences for residents of the adjacent neighborhood of Lodge. During the daylight hours, the park is often used recreationally by members of the community. Unfortunately, since Durbin Park's wide expanse runs parallel to Homestretch Avenue, it has also attracted speeding minibus drivers. Some minibus drivers have gotten into the habit of speeding through the stadium, reminiscent of the horse races of old that once took place at this site. Nonetheless, many residents of Lodge hope that the erection of this fence will be the beginning of additional safety measures for the park. Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin paid a visit at the East La Penitence Market yesterday to get a first-hand look at how business has been affecting them. Andrew Weeks reports.
In a release from the Government Information Agency, Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin, during his unannounced visit to the East La Penitence Market, said that many of the vendors believed that business is slow and money is on a slow circulating pace. But the minister told the vendors that the economy will improve in the coming months as government has a number of initiatives to roll out in 2017.
Our government is doing to stimulate the economy. One of the most important things that we did was we started our budget cycle early so that a lot of the public works that have to be done and contracts that have to be issued can be issued right from the beginning of the year, which means that a lot of the government expenditure and the government money will actually be circulating in our economy, and that of course does provide some stimulus.
Vendors reported a number of issues like the problem of washroom, leaking roofs, and flooding when the rain falls. And according to Gina, Minister Gaskin told the vendors he will make their concern known to the mayor and councillors of the city of Georgetown.
We do have a responsibility to for business, and business means all business, whether it's market, whether it's big business, small business, any kind of business, and we like to stay in touch with the business community at all levels, and this is part of our outreach that we conduct from time to time.
Other markets and businesses are now put on notice as Minister Gaskin plans to visit them in the coming weeks to listen, address, and where it is possible, help solve their problems. Andrew Wicks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. Still ahead, our regional and international news.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Portia Simpson Miller, to step down as party leader on April 2nd. Though Simpson Miller addressed the conference indicating her imminent departure, it was General Secretary Julian Robinson who told National Executive Council members at a closed meeting, and then journalists, that a special delegates conference to select Simpson Miller's replacement as party president will be held on March 26, 2017. Here's more.
Portia Simpson Miller, moments after she addressed the party's National Executive Council NEC, she quickly greeted some of her supporters and party members. Then she was off. During today's meeting, party officials say Mrs. Simpson Miller made a major announcement. She's to step down from the post of PNP president.
The effective date of the party leader's resignation is April 2nd. The nomination period for the election of a new president will open tomorrow, Monday, and will close on Friday the 10th at midday.
PNP General Secretary Julian Robinson adds that there will also be a special delegates conference for the election of a new president on Sunday, March 26 at the National Arena. Dr. Peter Phillips is considered the frontrunner for the post. So will there be any other challengers? Party officials say they do not want to speculate. Now, Mrs. Simpson has indicated that she will remain for now as Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Andrew. One of the questions some have been asking is why didn't Mrs. Simpson step down before the budget debate to allow her successor to contribute to the debate as opposition leader?
I mean, she had indicated her desire to make a presentation, and based on the discussions internally, there was agreement on that, and as such, we felt that the transition should take place immediately after.
Some senior members of the PNP say based on the PNP president's speech today, it was clear that she was pressured in setting a timeline for her departure.
I am saddened that what appears to be the linchpin upon which the actual date for the resignation or the start of the transition has been set has to be what appears to be inordinate pressure on the party leader. She does not deserve that kind of pressure.
Where did that pressure come from?
I don't know.
I'm a little sad of how it's going. I again feel that there is some unhappiness in the way she's stepping. I know it's a necessary thing, it should have happened before, but today I don't want to say much.
We put the question of whether Mrs. Simpson Miller was pressured to the party's chairman.
Pressured for? No.
By whom?
No. Party president was not pressured. No.
To have had the NEC today and for her to make her announcement to the NEC, it is hardly likely that she would have made such a momentous announcement and not having some emotion, some disappointments, because as we know, she would have preferred, of course, to have won the last election and left as a prime minister.
Vashon Brown, TVJ News.
In the meantime, opposition Senator Floyd Morris says he's very sad to see Mrs. Simpson Miller go. However, he says he accepts that it is just part of the political process.
You know, she has given selfless service to the PNP. I'm very much appreciative of her effort. Tremendous legacy and contribution to the PNP. And, you know, I'm happy for her and happy for her service to the party and to the country. And, you know, I continue to love her, I continue to support her.
And internationally, Jorge Perez, a billionaire real estate developer, has built structures around the world but will not build President Trump's border wall, stating that it is, quote, an insult to all Hispanics, end quote, and immigrants in the U.S., CNN reports.
1 month after Donald Trump won the presidency, he turned to billionaire builder, sometimes business partner, and longtime friend Jorge Perez for help building a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. Dubbed Miami's Condo King, Perez's company has shaped skylines worldwide. In December, Perez received an email attachment with a message penned by Trump.
The handwriting was his that went with the attachment.
The email, which CNN saw under the condition it not be shown, was sent from the Trump Organization and signed by Trump. These images resemble the ones in the email.
Inside the email was the wall, you know, the 2,000-mile, 30-foot wall with some sketches. And he said, we'd love to get you involved in this. Please give me a call.
A patrol road would separate the wall from a secondary barrier. Another email attachment, a map showing the wall extending from California to West Texas. Though the images he received are unlikely the final plan, it's a look at Trump's early vision for the wall.
See that ceiling? That ceiling is much lower than my wall.
Trump has spoken in general terms about the wall, and the few details we have heard have changed, including that 2,000-mile length.
You have a lot of natural barrier and a lot of things. So the wall is 1,000 miles, right?
The current requirements.
Former Customs and Border Patrol agent Rowdy Adams worked the southern border during his 28-year career.
So when the president talks about the wall, it's oftentimes in the terms of it would be a concrete wall, something similar to this. You say, bad idea. Why?
It's a bad idea primarily for an officer safety reason. You cannot see on the other side of that to determine what it is that may be additional threats.
Adams does see benefits of having two barriers in urban areas.
So the time somebody breaches that first barrier and gets across the roadway, and in this particular case, in an urban environment, you might want a secondary fence to slow them down until a response vehicle or response capacity winds up showing up in time.
The White House did not deny Trump reached out to Perez for help building the wall. In an email to CNN, a spokesperson said, quote, "We are not aware of any conversations between the two." A senior White House official speaking more generally tells CNN Trump has been looking at various blueprints and sketches of the wall along with his top advisors. Perez, a Democrat, turned down Trump's request to help build the wall.
I think it's an insult to all Hispanics and maybe all immigrants in this country, and also because I don't think it's going to achieve its purposes.
And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeTVGuyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Friday evening at 6 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.